Doctors, thank you all for being here. I approach you now kind of as a physician who's done research in vaccines as much as more so than I'm approaching you as a senator. I was struck, and by the way, I'm incredibly frustrated. And the American people are frustrated because they hear you're following science, but then they just have a sense that the lag time between the implementation of that and recommendations is far too long. It's not just the American people, I'll put it this way, not just the people in my state. Here's a stat article. CDC, slow, cautious messaging seems out of step with the moment. Want to go back to the office, don't wait on the CDC. That's from Wall Street Journal. And the liberals who can't quit lockdown from the Atlantic. So first, I was struck when Senator Burr suggested that previous immunization actually confers immunity. Do any of you agree with that? Dr. Fauci?
Does previous immunization confer immunity?
Does previous infection confer immunity?
It does. We don't know what the durability of it is, but it certainly does confer immunity.
But we still recommend that they be vaccinated.
Yeah, we do.
That seems out of step.
No, actually, Senator, a study has shown very clearly that if you vaccinate someone who has previously gotten infected and recovered, the level of neutralizing antibodies and T cells are extraordinarily high, not only against the wild-type virus, but also against the variants.
I'm aware of that research. I've pulled some of that research that refers to that.
Right.
My concern is that would happen if you had another infection. But we still recommend that they get 2 doses, even though the same literature shows that there is an increase in side effects when someone gets a second dose and they've been previously immunized. So, not life-threatening, but nonetheless an increase in side effects. But nowhere do I see a recommendation that, well, don't get the second dose because the literature shows that after 1 dose you've topped out your immunologic response and you're at an increased risk with the second dose. Would anybody like to speak to that? By the way, can people go back to work if they've been vaccinated and not wear a mask, assuming they're not immunocompromised? If I'm vaccinated and I have antibody and I'm exposed to somebody else, what is my risk of coming down with symptomatic infection?
5%.
5% that's overall. Not if I've been vaccinated and if I have antibody. That's if I'm vaccinated overall. If we know that critical mass or if we know that herd immunity is somewhere north of 60 or 70%, if we go into a workplace where within that workplace there is 100% immunization, such as here, we've achieved herd immunity. Yeah, there's somebody in here that may not be responding to the vaccine, but because everybody else has, they're protected. That's nowhere reflected. And right now we have federal agencies, which we've had employees not working for a year because the union says that they have to have special workplace precautions for them to return to work. There is consequence to this kind of delay, as the stat article shows, of the kind of updating of these recommendations. The American people are incredibly frustrated because so much of what you say is patently not true. I have to wear a mask when I'm outside and the wind's blowing at 20 miles an hour. That's been changed, but it was only changed recently. They seek not to believe those things which are true. You gotta realize. You gotta be more real time. Let me finish with this. We know people are going to do this. If you're going to do it, please accept this recommendation. This is a blanket. Walk outside and wear a mask. You're vaccinated and everybody else is in the room is vaccinated, but you're wearing a mask. The American people have just lost patience with us. With you guys.